And welcome to another Cliff's List webinar. And today I'm very pleased to have my good buddy Patrick Ananda on from the Centered Man Project. Patrick has had quite a journey to get to where he is today. He's certainly a world traveler, adventurer, and uh, you know, budding young ladies man. And we're going to get some, I think, very good information from him today. And Patrick, maybe you can give us more of an introduction about yourself, sort of what you do and how you do it. Well, how you do it, we'll get into after. But let's hear from you. It is a good little introduction.
Sure. Well, first of all, thanks for having me, Cliffy, and it's good to hear your voice after so long being away. I'm talking to you guys live from Krakow, actually, my apartment in Poland. And what I do specifically, I mean, if I were to sum it up in one sentence, is I teach confidence. And I mean, I think there's no better way to put it, really, for lack of a better term, because I found that a lot of what's being taught as mainstream, self-improvement and self-betterment advice, be it within the seduction industry and outside of it, is akin to putting a Band-Aid on a problem that needs to be operated on, right? And so the cure for, let's say, social or approach anxiety and fear of rejection is not to go out there and batter your head against the wall until you temporarily lessen it enough to function. The cure for getting over a bad breakup or an obsession with one particular woman, right? The cure for neediness is not to go out and fuck 10 other women. Am I allowed to swear on this? I'm going to swear on this. It's not to go out and fuck 10 other women. It's to find out what the root cause of the problem is. What is it inside you that have caused you to see yourself in such a belittling light, to put yourself down internally, in which you actually need these kinds of temporary solutions to your problem? It's to really go in there and find out what's really not clicking, right? What hinge needs to be oiled for you to just function smoothly and enjoy living, because that's what it is at the end of the day, right?
We'll go into that in more detail. Just that right for now, I'd like you to sort of tell a little bit about I guess the Centered Man Project and about who you are and like why people should learn from you, that sort of thing.
Okay, excellent. Well, I started out as not being a very outgoing individual. I was kind of a mix between introverted and extroverted, and yes, that exists. So from a young age, I was never one of the cool kids. I was definitely not a popular kid. I had some good friends, but there was always something missing, and at first I thought it was women, and just for reference, I lost my virginity when I was 18 years old. So I was a relatively late bloomer, especially by French-Canadian standards. But yeah, I grew up fairly conservative and fairly introverted, and it was always, like, stepping up was always something that just kind of seemed off the table for me. And then I discovered the seduction industry, and I got into the whole pickup thing, right? I read the game, I read the mystery method, and I digested all that stuff, and I was like, hell yeah. So I would go out, and I was going to clubs, and I was getting fairly proficient at it by the time I was about 18, right? So for a period of about 2 years, I was getting really into this, to the point where it's considered a little bit weird for me if I walked into a club and didn't get a phone number or a makeout or something like that. But I hit a crossroads at one point in my life where basically I was depressed, I was getting kicked out of school, and as a result of getting kicked out of school, I was getting kicked out of the house. I was just genuinely a terrified 20-something-year-old, and I realized that I couldn't feel happy if I wasn't constantly on my phone texting women that I had met. Like, in other words, I was a cool guy as long as these women gave me attention and validation. I noticed that my friends were not really my friends. I always had to call and make sure, like, hey, let's go out, let's do this, let's do that. If not, I was basically forgotten. And so, as cheesy as it sounds, I went on a humanitarian trip to Armenia, and that kind of changed my perspective a lot. And when I came back, I was offered a job as a coach for a pickup company in Montreal, and the founder that you know very well, Cliffy. But I turned it down because I realized at that point that the answers I was looking for were not in pickup at all, really, and I had to take a step back. And that's when I turned to spirituality, which sounds very cheesy, I know, but there's just timeless truth to this stuff. There's some very real practical advice that's there that we've kind of glossed over and ignored. And in the 2-month period where I decided, okay, I'm not going to read a single field report or lay report. I'm not going to watch any pickup videos. I'm not going to be. I'm going to take the time that I normally invest in this pickup stuff and put it into something else. And so for that time period where I was only allowed to do 2 things. Number 1, study my ass off to get back into school and graduate and get into a good university. And the second was to focus on improving myself, which included working out. I started doing Muay Thai. I started learning on my passions. I started learning how to cook, learning to dance salsa, and a whole bunch of other things. In that time period, I put a limit on myself. I was not allowed to take a phone number from women. I was not allowed to invite them out on a date. And coincidentally enough, that was the time period where I went on the most dates in my entire life, where women were actually taking my phone number, calling me, texting me, stuff that was outside the realm of what I considered to be possible. And I realized there was something there. So that gave birth, in a way, to what the Centered Man Project is today.
Okay. I guess one of the things I really do want to focus on, because I've kind of known you for quite a while, and I've known you've come a long way in terms of your success with women, and I really want to delve into the process and the things that made the difference to you, and what you've learned personally. And then we're going to, after that, I want to talk about your experience with coaching and how you've learned to help guys improve, sort of, that's not yourself, that's as a third party, basically. So,
Yeah.
But first I really want to go through the process that you went through to get to where you are now, which is certainly a long way from where you used to be. Yeah,
definitely. The process. Wow.
Like, for example, when you started off, you were you were having difficulties with a variety of things, and now, you look at those same things and you would do them differently. Like, just tell me how it evolved and where you are with these things now.
Yeah, well, I mean, like, I guess I always had the standard. I mean, it's funny because when you take a look back at your journey, and it doesn't seem like a very it doesn't seem very apparent at first, and then you take a look back and you're like, wow, I was kind of ridiculous. So you'll notice the loop, right? There was always this loop. It was like, okay, I have so much trouble with attraction, right? Like, I couldn't get women attracted to me. I was always getting friend zoned. I was fun to be around. I was cute. I was funny, but there wasn't that raw passion, right? Where I can just pull a girl and end up in the bathroom doing horrible things, right? It wasn't there. So I was like, okay, attraction, and I would like, I can probably, if you sat me down with a bunch of cheat sheets and you're like, okay, write down the mystery method, write down the RSD method, the atom lines. I can write down, like, I know this stuff inside and out. I mean, I've literally studied this stuff with a passion, and it's just completely been thrown out these last few years because it's just so unimportant. So yeah, I mean, I would say really, like, in terms of the process, the first and most important thing, the absolutely most important thing, I would say, is renunciation. It's taking that time to just stop whatever the hell you've been doing and go, okay, it's not working. It hasn't been working this far. Okay, I've been in this. I mean, I know a guy that has been doing this. He's been in this, like, pickup artist community for 8 years, and he's like a complete loser. Like, he's still as unhappy as he walked in. You can see it when you look at him. He has no success. Like, he's just. It's like, what are you doing? At what point are you going to stop and go, okay, I need a radical change in my life? Like, I would rather die than continue down the path that I'm going now, because it's not working. And if you go and scan, like, pickup forums these days, you'll see it everywhere. You see these guys who are burnt out and who are just, like, fed up, and it sounds like they're bleeding in the trenches. When this stuff is supposed to be fun. It's supposed to be exciting to talk to a beautiful woman. It's supposed to be fun to go out with your friends and go to a club and dance and have a crazy night. Like, this whole living thing is supposed to be enjoyable, and if you're not enjoying it, you're doing it wrong. So that's the first step, and that was a step that I took, and I highly recommend it. Now, here's the interesting thing. See, like, what I did at first was I went through my phone, and this is a big one. I went through my phone, and I found every girl that I had, quote unquote, picked up, and that I was clinging to. In other words, there was an emotional attachment to. I would have to, what's the best text opener to stop her from flaking? And I'd have to remind her we have a date tomorrow or something, like, are we still on, Or the girl that's like, oh, I'm almost there, I'm so close to closing her. Or the sure thing that we always have, like, as a fallback, I had to go through that, and I had to delete every single one of their phone numbers. Just get rid of it. Get rid of the support structures. Another one is Facebook, getting rid of Facebook. Like, the point being is that if we're too dependent on the attention of other people and the validation of other people, then we're stuck in this trap. So the big step was to let go of it. And I wish I could say that it's like, oh, right away all my problems vanished. No, that's not what happens. But this takes me to a Buddhist concept where in Buddhism, when you achieve nirvana ultimately, and you disentangle yourself from the world, your karma still catches up to you. There's still a buffer period in which you're going to get sick and bad things are going to happen to you. And this is kind of the same thing, where at first you're going to struggle with it. It's like any drug addict that's going through withdrawal, right? And you'll be like, oh, I should text Stacy or something. And you'll be like, what am I doing? This is stupid. I should go out or whatever. No, just hang in there. Take that time period to just take a step back. Take a step back and give a sober assessment of your life in the way that it is now. And then the second step that's absolutely incredibly powerful is to develop your passions. This one is hugely, hugely, hugely important. It's absolutely crucial to have something going for you outside of women. And by something, I mean literally 95% of what you do with your time needs to not be women related. It needs to be related to a goal that is so large, that is larger than her, that is larger than yourself, that's larger than life itself. You need to be working passionately and diligently towards something. Those are just two very, just with that alone, you'll notice a phenomenal difference. And the third one, and then we'll cut off this little segment here, but the third one is amazing. Get out there, go on adventures. Right? Don't go out sarging, and this is important. See, we think that words are just kind of arbitrary. They don't really mean anything, but if you sit down in a room and I tell you, okay, for the next week I want you to meditate on cancer, suffering, violence, and then at the end of the week, come and tell me how you feel. And then in the same vein, sit down and meditate on joy, peace, beauty, love, compassion, and then tell me how you feel. So we use these words that are military terminology to go and speak to beautiful women. It's outrageous. It makes no sense. So don't go sarging, go adventuring. You have approach anxiety. What the fuck does that even mean? You have excitement is what you actually have. But you framed it as something negative because you stamped it with a word that packs negative emotions. It's excitement. Go out and celebrate women. Go adventuring, go celebrating. Don't go approaching as if it's dangerous animals you need to be worried about, right? Just doing these three things will add a lightness to your step, right? There's just this kind of, it's the essence of charisma, by the way. People who are charismatic tend to be very light in their presence. They just have this joy, this joie de vivre that hangs around them, and people want to be around them. Now, if I translate this sentence, want to be around them, that sounds an awful lot like another word that a lot of you guys are obsessed with, attraction. It implies effortlessness. If you have to work and struggle for it, you're not doing it right, by definition. Anyway, that's my rant.
Okay. Well, I know that in the past you've spent a tremendous amount of effort and time, approaching women and working on, I guess, overcoming any resistance you felt internally to that. And I think that certainly had an impact. I guess my impression is that whatever you're doing now, has been part of the outgrowth of the efforts and results that you had doing the other. And don't you think that there's a need for someone to actually go through that phase as well? Not just, you just can't sort of go from zero to hero sort of thing.
I think that that's an interesting point, but first of all, I had never ever had lasting results the way that I do now, and I had never had the instant. In other words, the moment that shift took place, there was no going back, and the results were so apparent and so immediate that it's two halves. It just one doesn't really link to the other. Now there is a little asterisk there, and I'll get to it in a second. But first, I want to tell a little story, and I will always remember this moment. And it was actually with you, Mr. Clifford. We were downtown on St. Catherine Street in Montreal, and who else was there? There were two other people there, but I can't remember who. And this might not seem like a very a great story to you, but to me it was amazing because you know, I was still young back then. I had just kind of discovered this stuff, right? This not pickup, like it was the moment I had my internal shift, and it was early summer. Zan was there. I think Zan was there. Anyway, I had just had that shift, and so it was you, me, and I think Zan and Hans, but I can't guarantee that. But there were two other guys, and we were downtown on St. Catherine Street. And you and I were having a very similar discussion. I said, well, you know, Cliff, I kind of stumbled on this different way of seeing the world, and I don't know, it's pretty amazing. And in that moment, I said, here, look, I'll show you. And there were these two girls that were walking down the street. And in that one moment, right, when I saw those two women, my mind, there was that, this is where it gets difficult to explain, but there was this desire to take from them. It was, how can I get their validation, get their phone number, get Cliff to think I'm a cool guy or something. And I literally said what I always say, which is, hi, you're beautiful. And they kind of looked at me and kept walking. And then I turned to you and I said, okay, Cliff, now let's do it my way. And the words that I said were exactly the same way. However, I kind of shifted, I jolted into the state of being, which is really a state of love, which was, I'm just going to make this girl feel beautiful. I want nothing from her. I need nothing from her. I'm just going to make her smile. And I said the same words. I said, you're stunningly beautiful, I had to tell you. She stopped, we talked, we exchanged phone numbers, and as the four of us were walking away, I was texting her. And I remember that day because I was like, holy crap, like, this is crazy. This is crazy. And it was so consistent, and I kept doing that and kept doing that and kept doing that. And I was like, wow, there's no such thing as this whole rejection thing everybody keeps talking about. So where's the asterisk? I am in no ways advocating for some new agey, you know, spineless hippie, like, yeah, just be love, like flower power stuff. But I believe that there's two halves, right? It's like the yin and the yang. There needs to be a balanced life. And so the people who literally just go out and 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 go out, and they never actually solve any of their problems. I always say it's like banging your head against the wall, hoping that the wall will crack before your head does. And that's why you have so many people who are burning out, right? They don't have that internal strength to handle this kind of social pressure, the rejections, the heartbreaks, and so on and so forth. And so they keep burning out everywhere they go. They're at wit's end. And then on the other hand, you've got all these like new agey hippie guys who are sitting like, yeah, man, law of attraction. I'm just going to visualize and manifest women in my bed. Well, that's not good either, right? You don't want to be one of those inner game junkies. But you need both, right? One always feeds into the other. And so when you have that self-love, when you understand yourself, you've conquered your demons, so to speak, right? You've really sat in it. You've renounced, like I talked about at the beginning. Well, something different takes place. You're able to handle this pressure because your sense of self does not depend on external circumstances. And so you're ready to face even the toughest challenge. And then the funny thing is that it's a self-fulfilling prophecy. So take, for example, speaking to women, right? Confidence is about so much more, but let's stick to women for now. But if you're going out and you're completely self-accepted, right? You absolutely love spending time with yourself, and you're so comfortable in your own skin, and of course you're going to go and make her feel beautiful. It's who you are as a man. Of course I'm going to make her feel good. By virtue of you feeling confident, relaxed, at ease, and comfortable in your own skin, that in and of itself will attract her and make her eager to speak to you, thus reinforcing that positive belief and so on and so forth. And before you know it, you're in a loop of just happiness and ease. All of a sudden, you have women all around you, and your phone is blowing up. And it's something you didn't even think, it's not even thought of. Because the only real investment isn't time, it's investment in yourself. You're going to go out because it's nature. You're a man, you need to grow, you need to get out there, you need to be a social butterfly, you need to meet people. That's normal. But you can do it dragging your feet, kicking and screaming, or you can go out intent on having an amazing adventure, making other people feel special and unique and appreciated in your presence. And that's the essence of charisma.
Yes, I mean, I would think that, you know, getting to this next level is obviously critical. But I'm sure that, you know, you've encountered it, I'm sure, with your clients and with people that you know that making that shift, maybe at this point now that you've done it, is something that you see more clearly than maybe somebody else. But I would think that for a lot of people, it's very difficult to make that shift. And have you got any insights that help people who have some problems to make those kind of shifts internally?
Yeah, of course. Just to be clear, by the way, is that the shift that Cliff is talking about is love. I mean, there's no other term for it. It's being able to fall back in love with your life, fall in love with yourself, and fall in love with the people that are around you. And so this shift that I'm talking about really comes from one very, very simple yet difficult thing that you need to do, and it's letting go. It's very, very, very simple to do, but it's difficult because we don't want to let go. And this is the problem, is that we seem to be trapped in this story that keeps repeating itself in our minds as to why we're not good enough and why we need the next best thing and the next pickup seminar and the next new product and then the new haircut and I need to lose weight and so on and so forth. And again, this is both a Hindu and a Buddhist principle, but the funny thing is, right, like, okay, so when the Buddha achieved enlightenment, he came back with 4 noble truths. I'm only concerned with the first 3 because the 4th one, involves converting to Buddhism, which is not my aim here, but the first 3 is, all life is suffering. And then he goes, okay, well, the second one is, this suffering is caused by selfish desire, which is neediness. It's, in modern terms, it's neediness. And the third one is, if you cut out this neediness, then you'll cut out your suffering. So what happens is, a lot of these guys who learn this stuff, and they go, oh, wow, this is great. But then they come back and they go, well, now I'm needing to stop needing. I'm desiring to stop desiring. But that's the game. You see, this takes me to this amazing book called Zen and the Art of Archery. And in the book, the author explains how to be a skilled marksman, right? To not just be average. And this is what distinguishes people from average to amazing, right? To advanced. This is how you reach the next level, really in anything in your life. But he was saying that to really be extraordinary, to be an amazing archer, the act of letting go of the arrow needs to be simultaneous with thinking about letting go of the arrow. In other words, you can't warn yourself. You need to just let go. So it's an instantaneous thing. And so when it comes to women, right? Let's make it really, let's go down to the crux of it, right? Right there in this moment, you see this beautiful girl, and you're in public, and you're freezing up. Right, you have this rush of energy that shoots up, which is excitement, and then your mind kicks in with this story telling you why you're not good enough. Like, well, she's probably got a boyfriend. She's too hot, first of all. She's out of my league. I'm not very well dressed. My hair looks kind of weird. I forgot to shave. I gotta run. I gotta catch my bus. She looks like she's in a hurry. She's not interested in me. And so what happens is the body, the emotions in your body respond to the track that's playing in your mind. So what happens? Anxiety kicks in. This is a 2-second process, by the way. If you pay minute attention, you'll notice it, but most of the time we don't. So what happens? Our body shuts down. We clench up. So what's the solution to this? In terms of letting go, all you ever have to do is place your focus in your feet, move one in front of the other, and walk right in front of her. Before you know it, you're already there. You don't even have time to get anxious. You don't even have time to think of an opener, in which case your authenticity shines through. Oh, you're beautiful. You look incredible, or even, hi, I want to meet you. Sincerely, and people, you'll think like, oh, no, it's too easy, it can't possibly work. That's exactly why it works. No, I mean, if you really think about it, no woman in her right mind could just get angry at a guy who just likes her. It's like Hitch says in the movie, he goes, at the beginning, right, the opening line is, no woman leaves the house thinking, I don't want to get swept off my feet today. Right, we have this concept that women are secretly out there to just crush us, and so we need the rejection-proof opener and the resistance blaster and all these weird things. But the fact is that she just wants a genuine, cool guy who is confident enough to cross the street, look her in the eye, and say, I came here to talk to you. I don't care who's watching. I don't care who's listening. I'm a man. You're a woman. You're stunningly beautiful, and I'm here to speak to you. And that involves letting go. You won't even experience anxiety if you're too focused on taking action and giving your gift. As a man, your purpose is to give your gift, be it in the work that you do, and be it in your family life, or with women. And this gift that you have to give when it comes to women is your unwavering presence and love. It's to make her feel beautiful. So instead of going, oh, how can I get her phone number? And you're going instead, how can I make this woman smile? How can I make this woman feel beautiful? I don't need anything. I'm okay. I've got me, right? I've taken care of myself. I'm happy the way that I am. I need nothing from anybody, right? This is where the whole inner game thing comes in. This is where being centered comes in. But when you come from that mindset, it's effortless. There's no more fear involved. There's nothing left. And what comes out of your mouth in that moment is your deepest, most authentic truth, and that is irresistible to women. It's designed that way. I didn't invent this. This is the way nature intended us to reproduce and to like each other. And your best self is your real self, always.
Well, I think there's an impact also because you're a fairly outgoing person, and you've also had a lot of experience pushing yourself to open situations with people, including a lot of attractive women. How do you deal with guys who I guess are shy or are resisting the just even opening?
Well, it's very simple. You have to go to the bottom of it. So why are you shy? Why are you afraid to first of all, before you even open women, why would you first open yourself up? Why wouldn't you? Well, because I'm scared. Why are you scared? Well, because I don't feel like I'm good enough. Why don't you feel good enough? Because I don't really like myself. Why don't you really like yourself? Because you don't know yourself. And you don't know yourself because you distract yourself with Facebook, with pornography. Porn is a big one. Porn and masturbation is a huge one. Pickup has become a huge distraction in a lot of cases, and it's not healing for the masculine. The fact of the matter is, right, when you subscribe to an ideology as, I need the next video, I need the next tape, I need the next book or something, well, now you're a guy who needs help. And you will always be that guy who needs help. And like the example of the guy that I gave, who's been in this community for over 8 years, and he's like proud, and and it's a guy he's always going to need help because he's decided in his mind, this is who I am. So the guy who's freezing and who's freezing, right, who's really just kind of breaking down, it's to lead them down a path and find out why. Why don't you love yourself? And in that case, what happens is when they really take a sincere look, you start to realize that maybe there wasn't a problem in the first place. Maybe this story, this track. And you know what, I'll take a small parenthesis and talk about this actually, because this is something that a lot of people have trouble with. Most people, I don't even want to say men, because women have it too, and this is collective insanity, right? Just because a lot of people do it, it doesn't mean that it's normal. We have this track on repeat in our minds, and it's always playing. And it's this constant story of why I'm not good enough. Now, we can't turn it off. Imagine a radio. Well, that's the way I look at it. I can't turn it off, but I can turn the dial. Right? If you've ever had construction outside your window and you're trying to sleep, and you just keep waking up and you're like, oh, God, fucking construction. And you grumble, but what happens? Eventually you get fed up of being awake and you fall asleep. Is the noise gone? No, the noise isn't gone. It's still there. You just removed your attention and placed it where it matters. So I see it as turning the dial on the radio. If I'm going to have this story playing in my head, right, telling me, oh, you got rejected yesterday, you're going to get rejected again, and blah, blah, blah. If I'm going to have a story, it might as well be one that I enjoy listening to. And so in that situation, it's very simple. Sit and meditate. This is a great exercise from Anton something. It was in the book called Prometheus Rising, which is an excellent book. And he gives that example. Oh, by the way, that book was recommended to me by Steve. Huh? Just parentheses, Cliffy. But it's a great book, and he goes, okay, sit and convince yourself that I'm uninteresting, no one likes me, and I'm not attractive. Then go to a party and pay attention to how people are going to treat you. And then next week, your homework is to convince yourself, beyond a shadow of a doubt, that you're interesting, you're amazing, you're an attractive guy, and people love you. And then go to a party and see how people treat you. Right? The way that you treat yourself is the way others will treat you. Or in the book, the Tao Te Ching, which is a Chinese spiritual classic, it says, because he accepts himself, the whole world accepts him. And there's a profound truth to that. So this guy, he's got this track playing in his head. And what I usually do is I bring to their attention that you don't have to listen to it. It's not true, and it's sure as hell is not you. It's just a track that's been playing. It's the radio. You can't shut it off. But you don't need to listen to it. Place your attention on what counts.
That's an interesting approach. Have you tell us a little bit about some of the experiences you've had, with individual clients, as they've learned, these things from you, how they've experienced it. Is it, has it been, have these changes been easy for you when you coach people, or has it been something more involved? Because I think, a lot of guys, it's a sticky problem and it doesn't go away so easily.
More or less. I've had some difficulty with some, and others that just made perfect sense, and within a week they're noticing a big shift. But really, it takes the shift is instantaneous. And again, this is a Buddhist concept, but the way your life looks today is the way your future will look. Right? There is no other time but now. Whatever you experience in life is experienced as now. And if it's in a year, it'll be another now, but it's still now that you are experiencing it. So the question then is, if not now, then when? And you realize a lot of people are unwittingly putting off their own enlightenment. They're kind of teasing themselves with this. It's like, yeah, I'm not there yet. I'm not there yet. I'm not there yet. And really what it is they're grappling with their story. Because a lot of people tend to cling to the story of why they're not good enough, because it's a rationalization for their shortcomings. So the ones that I've struggled with the most are usually the ones who are having more trouble disconnecting from this story and letting go of their ego, really, in plain English. It's always the ego who gets in the way, and you're about to step up, your ego just goes, bam, puts you right back down. Like, nope, you're not going to change your life. No way, buddy. No way. That's the same reason why most people who lose weight on a diet tend to gain it right back. There's just, I don't know, I think it's like a mental illness or humanity. We have this inclination towards self-destruction, and if we're not aware of it, it'll linger. But that being said, I've really seen, I've seen the range, right? I've been coaching professionally for almost 3 years now, and before that I was doing like on occasion. And I've had guys with debilitating stutter to the point where they can even put together a sentence, who are now living like rock stars. I had a guy who was divorced with 2 kids, and I mean he was literally at rock bottom, and my heart went out to this guy because it kind of dawned on me that helping this guy was really about making him be a good father for his children. Right? There was so much at stake there. I've had young students who are just like, hey, I really don't, I don't want to live my whole life afraid of myself, really. And I've had like the whole range. I've actually even coached a woman, which was pretty funny too. It was a great experience. But yes, I mean the shift can take place instantly, but generally, as a general rule, 90 days is usually all it takes to revolutionarily just change your entire life. But the will has to be there, and it has to be so strong. You have to have such a passionate vision for the way you want your life to look that you don't care what it takes. You're going to put in the work, and you're going to change. And when you do that, you're going to start seeing results very, very quickly.
So it seems like in a lot of ways you've sort of got a magic pill in a way. Once this
it's been hiding in plain sight though. It's look, I mean, my degree is in religion, and what I talk about has nothing to do, like you will not find it in terms of pickup mechanisms and concepts that exist in this community. It has nothing to do with it, and I had to actually purge it from the stuff that I teach. It's almost entirely based on the classics of the Tao Te Ching, the Bhagavad Gita, the Dharmapada, and the Bible. I mean, you see, the great secret, quote unquote, has been hiding in plain sight for 3,000 years, and we just stopped bothering to look. And it has nothing to do with believing in a god or anything like that, but this just the way to live magnificently, and it's more than just women. I think I use women a lot as an example because I believe that women are a microcosm of the world. The way that you respond to women is the way you respond to life, and quite funnily enough, most women actually know this, right? The reason women shit test you, by the way, to use a seduction community term here, but the reason you're getting shit tested is because she wants to know if you can take crap from a girl you don't know without collapsing in on yourself, without your self-worth suffering as a result of it. And so she's going to prod at your weaknesses because she wants to know you're not, to be politically correct, you're not a little bitch. Because if you are, if some random girl at the bar that you don't know has the ability to make you crumble in on yourself and go home feeling like you're next to nothing, how the hell are you going to protect her from the rest of the world's shit? How the hell are you going to protect your kids together if you don't have the guts to cross the street, look a woman in the eyes and say, I'm here, I want you. I came here because you're stunningly beautiful and I want you. I'm going to go for it. How the hell are you going to chase that promotion in your life? How are you going to work on your passions? And more so, how are you going to leave behind something magnificent that goes past your death? The great men of history, the Alexander the Greats, the Julius Caesars, and so on and so forth, these men did not balk at the sight of a 110-pound girl, right? And I think that's important. It's kind of a call to action. And so I always say this, okay? The measure, right? The litmus test of how centered you are, how fully self-accepting, how firmly rooted you are within yourself is this. Imagine you're at a bar and you see your dream girl, okay? And for whatever, let's just say for the sake of argument, and there's no way for you to know this, but she is your dream girl, not just physically, but personality-wise, she's great. And on top of that, she likes you, but you don't know this yet. She wants you to pass the test. And so you see her, right? And there's a great chasm separating the two of you. You're on one end, she's on the other end. There's just no one in between, okay? Everybody's staring at you. If you were to walk across, you'd be the center of attention. But you go, okay, whatever, I'll start walking. And you start walking. On top of that, she's surrounded by tall, handsome, good-looking, rich men who look like male models and who hate your guts. Okay? I know, it's an extreme scenario, but that's the whole point. You're walking across the floor, and you get to a point and you slip and you fall and you spill your drink and you look like an idiot. Everybody in the bar is laughing at you. The guys are whispering in her ear, this guy's a loser. But you get back up, you dust yourself off, and you walk. And as soon as you get in front of her, you're about to open your mouth to say your piece. And before you even get a chance to, she pours her drink on your head in front of everybody who are giggling and laughing. And she leans back and looks at you like, what are you going to do now? Now, this is an extreme scenario, and by all means, I have yet to see a woman who is that cruel. But the test is this. Can you then, even in that moment, be so relaxed, so at ease, so playful, that the smile on your face is not plastered on as a defense mechanism, but you genuinely are enjoying this ridiculous situation? Look her deep in the eye with full love and full strength. Hi, you're gorgeous. I had to meet you. I'm Pat. That's the test.
Haven't you notice obviously a huge difference from doing that now from when you did it previously? The response, and I guess that's one of the things I wanted to go into is what you've learned about women, through your journey.
Well, it's a broad question. You want me to tell you what women want? I can tell you exactly what women want. If that helps.
We went, you started off, trying to figure out what's the things that are going to work. And now, it's more or less come to this shift, and that's, had the desired effect. But, there's certainly more to it. There's women out there of all different types, and, you have new experiences with each one. And, certainly a lot of guys advocate, it's not really too important what she wants or what she thinks. You've got to stick with your frame, and I think that's true to a point. But I think you also learn about how people are and how to deal with them. And maybe you've had some insights into things, for example, in I guess creating intimacy with them and this type of thing.
Let me make a point here. You brought up a very interesting topic before we even talk about this. This whole stick to your frame stuff that I'm hearing being peddled around, I've noticed that the men who talk about this tend to be the most weak, least self-assured men out there. And this is a defense mechanism. People misunderstand this.
I think I just use that as a description of the guys who have a frame, and I'm not really telling you. I don't think it's so simple to just become a Steve Pickus,
Right. Okay. Well, yeah, he's interesting for different reasons, but actually throughout my journey of all the guys that I've met, and you've been present for some of these guys, all the guys, I've basically met about 90% of the guys who were mentioned in the game. I've met a lot of the top guys out there today, and there were two that I actually consider to be genuinely impressive. And one was Steve for the reason that you said so, because he's just himself and he's completely unapologetic about it. And the second is Zan, and not for the reason that you think so, but because, I don't know if you'll like me telling the story or not, but we went to Cavalli together, and you were there, Cliffy, you were there. And he went to speak to these intimidatingly beautiful women, right? And he went to the first one, and he goes, hi, and right away she kind of turns her back on him. And I kind of, like, I was teasing him, and I was like, oh, what happened there? You know, you're supposed to be this charming guy. And he goes, oh, she's great. She knows what's up. She's great. And then the next girl, same thing. What happens then? Oh, she's great. She knows. Great girl. What a great girl. Third girl, still not interested. What happens then? Great girl. So this goes back to, this is why I found him impressive. It's not because he was able to, like, you know, do these crazy pirouette maneuvers, but because this all goes back to dominance and what it means to hold your frame. And I'm not calling you out, Cliffy, but I have seen a lot of guys talk about this where it's like, yeah, man, just be like alpha and like your frame is solid. And I was like, what the hell does that even mean? It's these made up, like, wishy-washy nonsense. The fact is, okay, to be dominant, to hold the frame, so to speak, it's not about dominating the conversation and mental jujitsu to always be one step ahead of her. It's complete nonsense. The real thing is, right, the key to dominance is emotion. When you walk into a room, picture yourself as a non-controversial celebrity, okay? And so people, your attention will be on you, the focus will be on you. What is the dominating emotion you want people to feel when they're around you? Is it joy? Is it excitement? Are they relaxed? Or is it confrontational and angry and odd, right? So this goes into the quote-unquote the field. You're out and you're having a good time and you feel good, and you go to a beautiful woman, you're like, hi, you're beautiful, I want to meet you. And she goes, ew, get away from me. And if right away, instinctively, you reel in on yourself, you go, oh, I read about this, oh, that's a shit test, I need to do this concept or whatever, you've already lost. Even if what comes out of your mouth is the most impressive thing on the planet, you had an emotional response to a 110-pound girl you don't even know, and she made you doubt yourself. I don't care about this holding the frame crap. If you felt any different, you're dead in the water. And that's, to go back to your original question, what have I learned about women, is this. What do they want? They just don't want you to be a little bitch. They want you to be unapologetic about what you want. They might like you, they might not like you. And by the way, one amazingly important thing that I've learned is that the overwhelming majority of them actually like you. There's just one thing missing, and you haven't hit that button yet. Right? Most guys, most no's are not. Okay, wow, that sounds. That's how I'm gonna get. I know I'm gonna get in trouble for this if I say that. That's not what I mean. I don't mean no like with sex. Gentlemen, if a woman says no, it's no. It's not negotiable. But I mean the girl who will make you work a little bit harder for it, who will flake on a date once or twice or so on and so forth. She likes you. Okay, more often than not, she likes you. But there's something she needs to feel from you first. And that is your self-generated, loving commitment to your truth. Are you a man? If so, go after what you want. Make no excuses and no apologies for it. Don't worry about a frame. Don't worry about seeming weak. Don't worry about playing her game or outwitting her. There's nothing you need to do. Just relax, be patient, say your piece. And more often than not, you will hit home.
Okay. Well, you also I get, you know, it seems that this shift sort of affects you in every part of your life, and I mean, two of the things that we were going to talk about was the fear of rejection and social anxiety. Mm-hmm. And it seems that this shift though will deal with all of that basically.
Yeah, well, look, the reason, in plain English, the reason you get anxious, okay, anxiety, the Buddha explains it perfectly. He says that the anxiety arises in the space between who you are and where you want to be, where you're standing now and where you want to be, and it's in that space that anxiety arises. And so basically, you feel anxious, not because you're afraid of what to say or blah, 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 not even because you're afraid of rejection. And this is a fun test. To all of you who've been listening, to all of you who have quote-unquote been rejected in the past. And I mean the worst, most embarrassing, most humiliating ones, okay? I want you to stop, take a second, check yourself. Is everything still there? Right? Everything's still there. You're okay. Right? It's an immaterial concept, this rejection thing. I always say I never get rejected. Not because I'm like some boastful dickhead. It's because I don't believe in it. Because I'm not asking for anything from anybody. And that's the big shift. I mean, the reason you get anxious, the reason you're afraid is because you want something. And what do you want? It's validation. It's always validation. Most men show up with the glass half empty and they're going, I don't know who I am or where I'm going. Please tell me. Please tell me who I am. So they learn this new pickup, opener or whatever, right? And so they'll lean in, which by the way, this is a big one too. We have this habit of protecting ourselves, and so men, when they go into the bar, they'll hold the bottle like this. You're protecting your heart space, right? Because it's supposed to be soft. It's supposed to be vulnerable and open, and that's where your strength comes in, but you're not aware of that. You're afraid of vulnerability, and so you'll protect it. Another big one too is when you get anxious, what happens? Your breathing shallows. This part tightens up. It's all protected. So when you're leaning in, there's kind of this sideways, like, hi, whatever. What are you doing? You're protecting your vulnerability. You're protecting your heart space. You don't want her to hit you, and really what you're actually communicating is, I'm not confident enough. I don't trust myself fully enough to be able to handle any situation, so I'm going to go the safe route. Well, no woman wants a man who wants the safe route. So the reason you're feeling anxious, I know I keep going off on tangents here, but the reason you're feeling anxious is because you want validation. You're trying to protect this self-image. The moment you no longer need validation from anybody to tell you who you are, and that involves some serious self-work, some serious internal struggle, really, to get to the bottom of all the crap you've been accumulating over the years. When that happens, then you are free. And all that's left is to go around and give your gift, to live your life, because it's your purpose to do so anyway. It's why you're on Earth. To go around and to commit to something that is larger than you. And so when you let go of this validation seeking, then you're able to connect to people, and there's something amazing happens. That's one of the great byproducts of authenticity. It's the point where you're able to walk out and really connect with people you literally just met. And when I was in Bucharest, I met these people at a bar. I met them at the bar, and then they found out it was my 25th birthday, and they came back with a little cake and candles, and then and the next day they showed up at my apartment with a bottle of homemade liquor, and I didn't know these people before, and I didn't know anybody in Bucharest, and I left with a family, and that happened in Prague, and this happened in Wrocław. I live in Warsaw now. I have amazing friends everywhere. Why am I able to consistently do this without even thinking about it? Well, it's this authentic, just joie de vivre that I've discovered. I fall in love with myself. I fall in love with life, and I fall in love with others. Everybody's beautiful. Everybody is interesting, right? And this takes me to the Casanova passage where he says that love is 3/4 curiosity. If you're just out there and you're interested in other people, as they say, right? The most interesting man alive is the most interested man alive, right? So everybody's favorite subject is themselves. Well, the moment you make your peace with yourself, you no longer need other people to tell you, to dictate who you are, and it allows you to relax a little bit and realize it's not all about you, and make other people feel special, make other people feel important, and you'll find yourself surrounded with incredible people and beautiful women, both inside and out, and success will abound. And it's way easier than you think, and you just need to open. Yeah.
So you've obviously dealt with your resistance to approaching women and to social anxiety. And what about when you have? Do you have any tips for people who have some particular sticking points in that direction?
Yes, absolutely. I have a very, very specific tip, and it's something that if ever I've had a bad week. So, for example, I will when I'll coach. It's gotten to the point now where I'm kind of getting close to a mostly booked schedule, and so I'll coach, 2 or 3 guys per day. Sometimes it'll just kind of all fall in where I've got back-to-back calls, and by the end of the week, you're looking at 6 or 7 different 3-hour sessions on Skype with guys, clearing all of the crap they've been accumulating. And so I'll have I'll feel it. I'll feel constrained. I'll feel depressed almost. And so I need to kind of release that. So I will go out, and I do this all the time. It's a very, very simple exercise. You got social anxiety, you got fear of rejection? Great. Let's take anxiety and rejection off the table entirely. right? You can't lose a game you're not actually playing. Let's just get rid of this crap altogether. You're not allowed to take phone numbers. You're not allowed to approach. Here's what you're going to do. You go to 5 people, men, women, old, young, beautiful, not beautiful. It makes no difference. You're going to walk out. You're going to notice something specific about them, and if you can't find anything specific, you're just going to make a general compliment. You're going to say your piece calmly, clearly, and succinctly. Right? You're not gonna like drive by, shoot, machine gun compliments here. You're gonna stop them and say, "Hi, I just wanted to tell you, you look stunningly beautiful," or "I love your scarf, it's really unique," or "Dude, your suit looks great. Have a great day." And you're gonna go, "Have a great day," and you're gonna walk away before they even have a chance to say, "Oh, thank you." You're just gonna walk off. And the reason for this is simple. I want you to just pay attention to how you feel. I want you to pay attention to how you feel during. I want you to pay attention to how you feel afterwards. And I want you to pay attention to the way people react to you. Okay? Don't look for a specific response. Just notice. Just observe. And you're going to see that when faced with a genuine compliment, everybody's going to stop and hear what you have to say. In fact, one interesting byproduct of this exercise is people will often catch up to you and go, "Wait, who are you? What's your name? What is this?" Seriously, just don't go seeking it, because that's contrary to the exercise itself. But the point is to get used to giving for the sake of giving, to understand that you are the anchoring positive emotions. And if you think about it, most of us, society nowadays, we're all drug addicts, even though if we're not actually doing drugs. When women walk into a club, right, we're all seeking good emotions. By the way, we're all seeking the flash, right? So women will walk into a club, and what'll they do? Right away, they will either run to their friends and get all excited, be like, "Ah!" right? Or they'll go right to the dance floor and start dancing, or they'll go to the bar and do some shots. All 3 cases, what are those? Sources of good emotions. What do the men do? They walk in. They either go to the bar, source of good emotion, or they'll go to the women, or lean against the bar until the perfect approach. Bullshit, whatever. Point is, what happens is, it's kind of ridiculous if you think about it, because everyone's basically seeking the good emotions, and it's just this never-ending like cycle. The men are searching the women who are searching the good emotions. It just doesn't end. So this again goes to another Casanova quote where he says, "Be the flame, not the moth." You anchor yourself as the positive emotions, as the good feelings. You're no longer seeking validation. You are instead handing out validation. And so if you do this properly, a powerful shift is going to take place. You're going to go, "Wow, maybe I've been afraid of..." I'm not actually... This is one thing, too. Most people are not afraid of women. They're afraid of people in general. They're just really afraid of other people. And you're going to notice maybe I don't have to be afraid all this time. Maybe I didn't have to be living the way that I had to be living. Maybe I don't need to fill up my brain with useless concepts and noise. Right? This is what we do most of the time. This is the reason for the earlier exercise, which was renunciation, to cut off everything you've been reading, all of the material, just take a step back, because it's like you're taking a muddy glass and you just keep spinning it, and then you go, "Oh wait, there's this new pickup product. This will solve my problems." So what do? You just spin it the other way. And you're still muddying the glass. Just stop fucking spinning it. Let the mud settle. And then you'll see the glass. You'll see clearly. So very powerful exercise. Try it out. 5 people, and then let me know how you feel. And I promise you, if you do this correctly, you'll notice something amazing take place inside you. And you'll notice. You'll search your body at the end, and you'll go, "Oh wow, it's not there." This whole anxiety thing I've been talking about, it's not there.
Okay. Any other thoughts about helping people with their inner game?
I think to start off, before we go into anything deeper, go with the basics. Go with that. Take a step back and cut off your support structures and stop seeking to take from others. Make it a habit to give instead. And if you just do that in and of itself, you're going to start seeing a very, very, very quick change in the way that you interact with the world and the way that the world will interact with you.
Okay. Well, maybe you can tell us a little bit about your coaching programs, and let's have people have the opportunity to take advantage of your experience and wisdom in these things.
Yeah, sure. Okay. Well, basically the way that it works is I do some in-person some in-person weekend coaching, but you would have to fly to wherever I am on the planet at that time, and it's pretty expensive. It's €2,000 for that. But really, your best bet is to take a 1 month. What I do is I offer a 1 month coaching package on Skype, and it's one call a week for 4 weeks, basically, and there is no time limit. As long as you don't understand, I will sit with you until you understand. That costs €1,000, but the added bonus is, first of all, I have a full money-back guarantee. If you don't notice a ridiculous shift in your life, a crazy transformation, I don't want your money. The fun, like tiny little bragging, I'm sure it's going to happen at some point, but basically up until the point of this call, I have never had a request. I'm sure it will change at some point, but so far everyone's happy, thank God. And at the end of it, you get access to our private forums on the Centered Man Project. And that means that you'll be in touch with people around the world who have taken the program, who are on the same journey as you, who are really working to change their lives, and you'll have access to me, more importantly. And so I'll routinely check in on people 6 months, a year later, and go, hey, you're struggling with something, and hop on calls and talk and help them out and all that. So I think that's one of the biggest advantages, is you get to join something bigger than yourself. And I mean, yeah, I mean, if like literally, if I can just guarantee you that I will change your life in 1 day, you would hop on the opportunity. Now, it's not usually that fast, but it is that easy. So, yeah, that's what I offer.
Okay, I also want to mention that anybody who gets in touch with Patrick and signs up for his program, or I don't know if you have some other projects, other products, for example, on Centered Man Project, but if you buy basically something from Patrick and you send both him and myself an email saying that you got there through Cliff's List, I will send you absolutely free an additional bonus product as a thank you from us to having gotten to Patrick through us.
Epic, amazing.
So keep that in mind when you're looking at Patrick's product. Patrick, maybe you could tell us a little bit more about Centered Man project, basically.
The Centered Man Project. Yeah, well, a small parentheses, guys, if it comes from Cliff, you know it's amazing because it's Cliffy. But yeah, well, my website is www.centeredmanproject.com. And yeah, there's a blog, there's a YouTube channel, and it's where I talk about basically stuff that we just talked about, and I go a lot deeper where it's whereas this talk was relegated to just women. A lot of it has to do with confidence in general, right, socially and romantically and elsewhere. And my mission is to conquer the world, gentlemen. I've admitted it. You caught me. I'm going to conquer the world. I'm going to change the world, and I'm going to have men heal themselves and show up properly, which will, as a result, heal women. I mean, guys, this is a call to action. Every year since World War II, you can look this up, women have reported that they're getting less and less happy, not more and more happy. Get your shit together, live an amazing life, and go wine and dine the fuck out of a beautiful woman. That's my advice.
Well, I'm sure that some guys will pick up on that. Well, Patrick, I want to thank you for the time you spent telling us about your products and projects and coaching and the experience that you've been through to get to where you are today. And hopefully some of the guys who are listening to this will pick up on it and learn some more from you. Thank you for having me, Cliffy. Guys, centeredmanproject.com, check it out, or my YouTube channel. I upload videos every single day, and cliffslist.com. Awesome stuff there always. Sounds good. Anyway, thanks very much, and we'll talk to you again soon. Yeah, thanks for having me, Cliffy. Take care.